Hello! I am a bit over 100 pages behind where I should be in Skippy Dies currently. Last week I was really ill, and then I also wanted to finish some books and not just not finish a book, so I sped through a couple of books. I could keep making excuses, but not going to. I'm over 100 pages behind, but I'm still slowly continuing this because I am really, it's not even like I'm enjoying it at this point. If I'm being honest, I think I'm just really interested in seeing what these characters are going to do next. This book is reminding me more and more of The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling, which a lot of people hated, so I could see why this book had very mixed reviews. All of the characters, as we've been saying, are literally the worst people ever. However, they're also just incredibly realistic, and I know that I did terrible things in high school. I know that a lot of people have done terrible things in high school, and it's a learning process. However, these people just aren't growing up, and that's the part that's really frustrating to me, is the fact that you're seeing people just continuing to go through the same cycle and not learning from anything that's going on in their lives. Something else that I read in another book quite recently, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, the father and the son were having a conversation, and the father said to his son that his son was much more intelligent than he was, and the son said, "That's impossible, you're older." And the father just said that he had more experience, and that didn't necessarily make him more intelligent. However, he did have experience, and that experience helped him grow. Experiences should help you grow, and I'm not seeing that with these characters, and that's what I'm growing increasingly frustrated about, because that's the part to me that doesn't feel realistic. Ugh. And I don't want to chalk it up to like their gender, because I want to be above that, but it's really frustrating. Something that Ali said in her part 2 video talking about this book is that this book is helping her learn some things along the way. And I agree, some of the things that they're learning in school are actually really interesting. Like, they had learned that Halloween had originated in Ireland, and they told that whole story in a short paragraph, and I thought that was really interesting. Don't really know if it was true, but it was really interesting to learn about if it was true. Skippy, from the last parts that I've read, has been going through some stages, and they're emotional stages, and he has not felt them before, so it's really funny seeing his perspective, and also kind of sad because he's coming from a really distressed part in his life to, hey, maybe this will make me feel better, to just this like up and down sort of thing that you get when you're in high school and you're feeling loving feelings for the first time, and you're just all the emotions all the time. So he's feeling like really distraught, and then really happy again, and then feeling like, oh, maybe I don't need these pills anymore, and then just everything flies out the window. It's sort of making me distressed reading from his point of view, because I'm just like, I don't know what's gonna happen to this kid right now. One thing that he said that was really important is, can there be such a thing as a happy terror? Which I think happens a majority of the time when we feel happiness. With happiness, generally there's just this terrified feeling inside of you as well, or this anxious feeling at least, which can be really terrifying. So I really liked how he said that. But if you're feeling terrified, do you also feel happy all the time? Not really. So, I don't know, it made me think about that a lot. Happy and terror, and how they're connected and how they're not so connected. I really liked that a lot. As Skippy is going through his love connection, which started out as him just staring at somebody through a telescope, he's just becoming more and more unhappy with the situation escalating to the point where it did, because he doesn't know what to expect now, and he knew what to expect when he was just staring at her through a telescope. He just expected to see this girl who he was falling in love with aesthetically, knowing nothing else about her, but that's besides the point. Like, he knew what to expect when he was looking through the telescope, and now that he is trying to move things further, he doesn't know what to expect, so he doesn't want to move things further. He just wants to keep his fantasy going. He wishes he'd never told anyone about her, never found out anything about her, that he could have gone on just watching her through the telescope. I guess what I want to say here is, it's really terrifying putting your plans into action, which is something that I felt quite recently. So again, it's really nice seeing it here in just this example that everyone can relate to. Not that I have had this specific experience, but putting plans into actions are really terrifying all the time, and it's something that everybody experiences, no matter how old you are. So I really liked that that specific thing was put in here. Something else that's been really frustrating to me as I'm reading through the specific passages that I have been, I'm seeing a lot of women referred to not as women, but as attachments of other males. Like that person is theirs. For example, Carl. Carl is the worst human being ever, right? He's the person that's giving everybody all the drugs. He's the person that wants to rape this girl that is having feelings for him and trying to do this through the exchange of pills. His parents are getting a divorce, but that in no way excuses him from how he's acting. He's incredibly aggressive. He's rude to everybody. The donut shop people, it's disgusting. He's a disgusting human being. And the way he's treating this girl, Lori, who just so happens to be the telescope girl, is repulsive. It's so disgusting, and I hate it. I also hate the way that Howard's treating the girls, because he considers Miss McIntyre to be his. If somebody else was going for Miss McIntyre, inevitably, like, he would be destroyed. However, not his. Not in any way his, because Hallie's still a thing, and I really wish that at this point I had gotten more of Hallie's perspective, because I feel like it would be very helpful for me to continue to have that, even though I feel like not having her perspective and not giving her a say is making me feel worse for her. It would still be really great to have her perspective. It's just sad. It's so sad. I hate that the women in here aren't getting more of a voice, but it's a male author and it's about an all-boys school, so I assume that's why, but it is getting more disgusting for me, and I'm getting more unhappy with that. However, I'm only about a third of the way into the book, so things could change easily. This book is reminding me a lot of The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling, because it's about a group of people. Like, The Casual Vacancy is about a small town of people, and like none of those people are good people. However, it's really interesting to read from all of these horrible people and to learn from their mistakes, even though they're not learning from their mistakes. So I would like to continue to do that, I think, and it is an interesting journey, and I am excited to continue reading, even though I am going incredibly slow. So you'll be seeing Allie's discussion probably next week on her continuation of the book, and then it'll be my continuation, and then this book will be done eventually. But if you're reading with us, please discuss your thoughts with me down below. It would be really nice to see that. Tell me if you have a different perspective on anything, since my perspective was overall sort of negative on this portion, and I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.